Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3. And we have a Russian mirror today, which never thought those words were going to come out of my mouth. But before we really dive in, hold on, let me just pause the game here. I got to show off the merch. Guys, check this out. It just came the other day. We got the ESOC brand mug with the Mr. V on the other side. Ooh, I am feeling like Age of Empires royalty over here. And it makes the coffee taste at a minimum 30 to 60% more delicious just by using the mug. That's science. So thank you, Joshua, for that. Oh my God, I don't even know how to get unpaused. But we do have a Russian mirror today, a pretty high level one at that, on the Horn, which is the perfect map for a Russian mirror, and I'll explain in a second. But first, in the south of the map, playing in the color red as Russia, we have PR 32 through 34 Lieutenant Colonel Craigasm, who we're going to call just Craigasm for the rest of the game. And he's picking up the wood trickle, one of my favorite treasures on this map, though his kiting was a little bit off. Granted, you know, that's not an easy treasure to take. You do have those swashbucklers, which do a ton of hand damage, but that's going to be giving him not only 20 wood, but a wood trickle for the remainder of the game. And he's going to have to kite this next one very, very well. 90 food here. If he gets this on top of the wood trickle, he will be an Age 1 god. Though he is only at 87 HP. Meanwhile, his opponent playing in the north of the map in the color blue as Russia as well. We have Unvaccinated. And has he picked up any good treasures? I cannot tell. We got a little bit of combat between the catamarans. So in case you guys don't know this, on the Horn, you do start with a small catamaran. Now, you can use that to fish and boost your food income, or you can use it to scout the shoreline. Most pro players will use it to scout, because that information is going to be a lot more valuable than the little bit of food you can gather from that catamaran. I don't actually know its gather rate. Hold on. Maybe we have to wait for it to gather. Is it going to gather at any of these fish or any of these whales? I don't think so. Nope, it's just going to pick up some treasures. It's not a very fast gather rate. But meanwhile, Unvaccinated, look at this, sending distributism and leaving both of his wood crates on the floor. Now, what that tells me is by not going for a market, Unvaccinated is going to be going for early aggression. And let me tell you why. And let me tell you why Horn is probably the best Russia mirror map there is. Now, number one, it's got all the standard stuff that Russia likes to have. It's got some trading posts, and it has water potential. Russia, especially in the late game, can get really, really scary on water. It can really bolster their food income. And on top of that, there's the rush distance. The towns are 1, 2, 3 screens away from each other, which is just insanely short. So this is going to be a very bloody game. And look at that, Unvaccinated using his catamaran to save his explorer, who is on incredibly low HP. Look at that Ocean's 11 getaway. Let's go. I love that kind of stuff. Oh man, 32 HP. That was incredibly close. But man, meanwhile, Craigasm, he's only on 25 HP. So both players looking very, very wounded going into the Commerce Age. But look at this, Craigasm went with the market. So it's probably likely that Vaccinated is going to get up his blockhouse a little bit sooner. And I imagine it's going to go right around here, right? You want to seal off the middle of the map. But look at this, Craigasm getting his out first. Maybe that's due to the extra wood trickle. But yeah, he's going to be getting out the blockhouse, a very aggressive blockhouse. And he's probably going to try to pressure this hunt of ostriches. But Vaccinated doing a good job getting that herded in. The other thing about this map is you can actually use ships to really, really harass your opponent's villagers, just because the shoreline to TC distance is so small. So Vaccinated, I was totally wrong. I thought because of the no market start, he was going to go aggressive, but he's actually going very defensive with his blockhouse and his market, going to be giving him good vision of both approaches. And let's take a look at what they're both going up with. It's probably going to be Quartermaster for both. Craigasm, Quartermaster. Okay, yeah, so both going up with Quartermaster. And let's take a look at the decks. Ooh, Vaccinated does have 2 caravels in his deck. No schooners, though. Otherwise, looking pretty standard. And then, meanwhile, let's take a look at Unvaccinated. His, ooh, no water cards. Oh no, that could be huge in the mid to late game. Having no caravels, no frigate, that could really come to bite him. Though he does have 700 food, and Craigasm does not. And that 700 food, I think Russia might be the only civilization that I like seeing 700 food in their deck. Otherwise, I'd say it's a waste, right? Because food is already such a fast-gathering resource. You don't really want to send it over wood or coin. But because Russia has to train in batches, they need a food-heavy income right away. And so that extra little jumpstart of food could be the thing he needs to win this forward position. But look at Craigasm with the infrastructure, double blockhouse, and a stable. I don't know if I like that decision, because how is he going to be able to support all of this infrastructure? There's no way he's going to get out of double blockhouse, let alone double blockhouse stable. So I think that might be a bit premature. I'm okay with the double blockhouse, and I like that he wants to mix in Cossacks early. This is just a lot of investment at the 6-minute mark of the game, and he's getting a TP as well. Okay, so he must have sent 700 wood. Let's take a look here. Yeah, 700 wood and 700 coin. Is he going for an age up? He might be going for an age up, which on this map is almost suicide because your opponent is going to push you in. Let's see. Making Strelets, making Cossacks. Unvaccinated, sending 5 Cossack. He sent 700 coin as well. So it looks like it's going to be Strelet, Cossack, and Recruit to start. What else would you expect from Russia? It's the battle of the expendables, right? Just take all the trash units, send them off to die, and whoever doesn't die as much wins the Russia mirror. That's usually how it goes. But these Strelets, oh, are they going to get caught by these 5 Cossacks? This could be an awesome catch, especially in the early game, where military batches for Russia are not very easy to get out. Oh, the Strelets, they're going to get a great catch here. The Cossacks going to do lots of nice damage. And yeah, it's only 3 or 4 Strelets, but in a mirror match, especially at high levels, those sorts of trades really, really do matter. And it looks like Craigasm going to be returning. Seems like he wanted to kind of harass and secure this other trading post, maybe even go up and check these hunts. But now the blue army's moving in. I don't think he has enough siege potential to march on double blockhouse just yet. But Vaccinated now sending 700 coin. No, sending 600 coin. So I'm guessing that is going to be funding Recruit and Cossack production, because he's certainly not macroing to age. Craigasm looks like he wasn't macroing to age either. So it looks like they just went all villagers on food and then relied on those coin shipments to get out those batches of recruits. 5 and 4 Cossack now coming out from Craigasm. And meanwhile, Unvaccinated, he's only sent his 5 Cossacks. So it's going to be important to point out that, you know, whoever uses their military shipments more wisely at those very, very early engagements, that could be the decider of the game. In a map this small, it really does matter who wins those early fights. And so if somehow Vaccinated can push on this double blockhouse, that's really going to kind of insta-win the game for him. Whereas if Craigasm is able to hold the contain and guard these outer hunts, then it's going to be Vaccinated that's going to lose the game very, very quickly. 5 Cossack now coming out from Craigasm, and he looks like to have about 6 Cossacks right now versus the 5 of Vaccinated. Vaccinated went very heavy on Recruit, whereas Craigasm actually has a much smaller army, and I think it's because he's been investing in things like extra TPs and caravan trade, and so he's really playing the long game, but how is he going to take on these many recruits? This is a pretty scary army here by Unvaccinated. He's now going double blockhouse, sending 4 Cossack, and I would not be surprised if he pushes on the back of this 4 Cossack card. It's what I would do if I was playing Russia right now, because you got to think if you're Unvaccinated, you got to think you're at least a little bit behind economically, just judging by the size of your opponent's army. But ooh, look at this, Vaccinated. He's trying to pull a flanking maneuver, sending most of his army around the back, a couple of recruits to try to pin them down, and let's see if it works out. Losing his explorer there, but it did slow down the red army, and now the blue army has come for the sandwich, and it's Russia on Russia action. It is hot, and the recruits are going to be falling very quickly. All the blue Cossacks going down, but there's enough blue recruits here to protect the Strele. And this is going to be a decisive win for Vaccinated. Minutemen even coming out along with the 4 Caustic reinforcements. And look at the clean sweep for Blue. And Red is looking like a fool. All that to kill a market. Craigasm, what is he sending here? He's just trying to make some emergency caustics here. He does have out some more recruits, but wow, that was a terrible fight. And look at this, look at the panic. He's immediately slamming down 13 Strelet and 4 Caustic. And so he will have the advantage of having those shipments, whereas Vaccinated has already sent those. And he does have the double blockhouse fire, but just so many recruits still in this army. And these 13 Strelets for Craigasm are going to have to do work. But 13 Strelets coming out for Vaccinated as well. And not great utilization of the Caustics here, just being sent into the teeth of the muskets when they really should be targeting the Minutemen. You got to take out these Minutemen. They have 26 ranged attack, and oh, look at that 13 Strelic coming from the northern blockhouse. And again, it is an absolute massacre on both sides, but now it's looking like Red might be the one with the advantage. That double blockhouse fire is really coming in handy here, and all Craigasm needs to do is just defend this forward position, let the TPs continue to gather him resources, and he will win in the long run. And remember, he does have the ability to completely dominate water, seeing as he has 2 Caravels, and Craigasm does not. He's now sending 4 Caustics, so both players have officially sent all of their shipments for units. But I'm looking at the decks again here, and oh, Vaccinated has New Order regiments in his deck. Does Craigasm? Yes, okay, Craigasm has already sent it, so Craigasm actually has the upgrade, and it might be why he won that fight under that blockhouse so convincingly, and he's even sending Boyars as well for his Cossacks, so we're going to have some really souped-up Red units, but a bit of a bad engagement here for Red. He doesn't want to take on this many recruits in this close of range. He wants to use the sniping ability of his superior Streltsy numbers. I've been calling him Strele the entire time, or Strelets. Because that's what they were in vanilla, and I've just never gotten used to calling them Streltsy. But now it looks like he's continuing to harass these blue villagers, and it is important to point out that Vaccinated is kind of running out of food here. This is really his only safe hunt remaining, and there's not a lot of it left. It just looks like it's 2 ostriches, and he's gonna have to somehow push out onto these other hunts to the east. Caustics, oh no, you don't want to get those Caustics killed. They are expensive at this point in the game for Russia. He's got both trading posts on coin, but man, the just mass of blue infantry. And he's even pulling in some villagers as well. And look at this. He's gathering hunts in the shadow of Red's town. They are 1 screen away from each other. Meanwhile, the fight, honestly, it's still pretty even. But I think Blue is getting a small advantage here. More Caustic shipments coming in, but more Blue infantry as well. And yeah, I mean, the recruits are just doing work. I mean, this close in with the Strele, they're just going to out-battle them every time. Caustics for Red, Craigasm's control of his Caustics has been kind of dubious for me. This is like the 2nd or 3rd time I've seen him just throw those Caustics onto the bayonets of the recruits. And yeah, recruits are not the greatest muskets, but they're still anti-cav. So maybe, possibly not the best move there by Red. 5 more Caustics coming out, and again, just being thrown onto the muskets. I get that he's buying time for his other units to shoot, but I mean, these guys are not cheap. They're 150 resource units, a lot of that being coin, but that's, you know, it is causing a lot of distraction for these muskets, which has allowed these Strele to do some work. Craigasm continuing to go recruit and Caustic. Meanwhile, it looks like Vaccinated is switching to double Streltsy production, and Blue has convincingly won this fight here, but I still don't think he has enough to push on these blockhouses. We'll have to see. Maybe if these 20 Strelot come in, he'll have enough. Yeah, and I mean, Red's starting to run out of food a little bit too, but his map control should be much better. Maybe consider go water here, but I mean, you don't want to invest in that sort of infrastructure when your blockhouses are being threatened like this. Caustics coming out. Ooh, if they can catch these Strelets, that would be amazing. They're not going to catch him in time. Vaccinated doing a really nice job protecting his Strelets with his muskets. And these Cossacks, they just have not been able to perform at the level they need to. And now the blue wave of infantry is just ridiculous. 26 villagers for Vaccinated and 41 for Craigasm. How is Vaccinated getting out so many military units when Craigasm has the villager lead and double trade posts? I don't know, maybe he just built up an early advantage with all those shipments and he's never really relinquished control of it? But I mean, it feels like Craigasm should be getting out more units quite easily here. Blockhouses are finally probably going to go down here, and this is going to be a huge hit to Craigasm's infrastructure, and he does not have nearly enough wood to rebuild all of this stuff. Streltsy coming out, maybe they're going to save the second blockhouse. Minutemen coming in as well, but even the villagers are burning down this blockhouse. That's hilarious. I don't know if I love Vaccinated splitting up his army here, because it is allowing for Craigasm to get some really nice value with these Minutemen, but Minutemen are now going to go down, and it does look like Blue is going to win this fight at the forward position. Cossacks now coming out, though the Russian Explorer doing a lot of great work here, tanking a lot of damage from the Cossacks, and look how much damage that one bear tanked, and it allowed all 5 of these Cossacks to be swept up by the Musketeers. Does kill a Vill there, but these villagers, they don't care. They're no longer villagers. They are now in the Russian military. Oh, man. And just the blue wave is not stopping. And I think the reason he's getting out units is because Vaccinated has completely shut down villager production. He is no longer making any vills, whereas Craigasm is. And weirdly enough, making vills might be the thing that loses Craigasm this game. Only in a Russian mirror can you say something like that. But now look at how many exposed villagers he has here. And now the blue units can raid with impunity. An emergency blockhouse going up in the tippy north of the Horn, but that is not going to be enough. Craigasm now trying to get up to age 3 as well with the Exile Prince, and that might be his only hope. Maybe if he can get out 2 Falconets, he might have enough damage to take out all of these weaker Russian infantry, though. I mean, Vaccinated does have New Order regiments on these guys now, so they're not as weak as you might think. 2 Caravels now coming out, and see, this is where you really need 2 Caravels if you're on a water map, because Vaccinated's really never going to be able to deal with these 2 ships until he gets into age 3 and gets artillery. But this blockhouse might be going down here for Craigasm. Let's see, is Vaccinated now making villagers? No, he's still not making villagers. Speaking of villagers, a couple might go down here. Blockhouse. Oh, if it had just been built a little bit closer, it could be reinforced by those Caravels. Oh, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Let's see, does Craigasm have any sort of shipments on the way? He has 2 Falconets. He has 19 Strelet. 19 Strelet would actually do a lot of work against this many Ruskets, especially if he was somehow able to eke out the veterancy upgrade. If he somehow holds against this mass, he wins the game, because he's at 39 vills, and Vaccinated is still at 26. He has complete water control, but oh, he's going to call it. No way. Wait, why did he resign? Was that game over? Guys, was that game? I don't think that game was over. I mean, okay, granted, there's a lot of units here, but I mean, they're just Streltsy and recruits. If he somehow gets out maybe a couple of, well, I don't know, maybe. But I mean, if he could somehow send like, what did he still have? He was in age 3. If he had sent like 7 Cossack and followed that up with 2 Falconets, I mean, that could have done a lot of work. It might not have won him the game, but it would have killed a ton of these infantry. Man, I don't know. That almost felt like a premature resign there by Craigasm. Maybe he just thought that Vaccinated was continuing to make vills behind this, but he wasn't. He wasn't at all. I mean, he was down 13 villagers. Man, I don't know about that one, but I mean, that was still a great game. And this just shows you, man, Russia mirrors on small maps, they are action-packed and they are bloody. But I hope you guys enjoyed this casted game. I will be back with another one very soon, but until then, have a great day, have a great life. See you later.